Greetings to readers, viewers, and listeners, and welcome to this third episode of the annual Lenten tradition known as Letters for Lent. As with all these videos this year, um, this um, this particular version of Letters for Lent is dedicated in the memory of the late great Joseph Defino Sr, a wonderful mentor and teacher. This third episode is all about tribulation. And no, I'm not talking about tribulation and all that stuff. I'm talking about tribulation in real life. Facing adversity, facing difficulty in the times that we're in right now. I mean, in our personal times. I'm sure that all of us have dealt with a situation where it feels like the circumstances are less than what we would have liked, that things might not feel like they're going as planned. I'm sure that when it comes to Lenten practices, I'm sure that some of us have fallen off. That have we had these big plans, and then it just seems to fail from day one. I've been in that situation too, even as far as last year. As some people in the Autistic Superblog have heard, I've been dealing with autistic burnout, and last year I was just a wreck. I mean, I got some of my stuff done, but not all of it. Possibly because of the fact that I was still in recovery mode at that point. As I'm recording this, I'm still on the fence on if certain things have to go by the wayside this Lent. There's one thing I will be doing, and that's getting off of social media during Lent. It's part of my regular practice when it comes to when it comes to Lent. I always like to at least give something up because I feel like I'm making a purpose. But I want to just focus on not on my experiences and not on anyone else's experiences, but I want to just talk about how tough life can be. Life is tough. Life is hard, and life is just stressful. And there are times when things might feel like like you have things in the right, like you think you have things in the right lane, but then it swerves into the left lane, and then it just kind of feels like you're out of whack. But I want to just ask you all. This is basically a challenge. This is a challenge for you this Lent. Try and take those small victories that may not seem like much, and try and make them into bigger victories. Try and make them feel like, yes, you're doing one thing, but you're doing one thing, so that's always good. It's all about this whole series is all about trust. It's all about encouragement. And one of the things I like, and one of the things that I want to just give you, I've mentioned this before, but but this series is not only about gleaning from the from the mass readings for today, but it's all about being hopeful. It's all about knowing that the trials, the tribulations, the setbacks, the hardships that everyone's going through right now, dear readers and viewers, is all for a greater good. So never, ever, ever lose sight of that. Never lose sight of the fact that your suffering can build character in the words of the late Macho Man Randy Savage. He said that suffering builds character. And this is one of those times where you might be tempted. You might feel, oh, am I doing the right thing? Maybe I should do something else. But it's all about suffering, building character. Let me give you an example on my end. While last year, when I was dealing with autistic burnout, a lot of things that I thought that I knew turned out to be wrong. Turned out to be the things that I shouldn't be doing. All for me to realize that while I was going through this autistic burnout, and while I was going through all this recovery, I found something so great about myself, and that I never saw in the grand scheme of things, because I was always tunnel visioned. I had this tunnel vision of, oh, I've got to work, oh, I've got to do this, I got to do that, and all the other stuff, and I was sitting on my bed on my days off, always on pins and needles, always anxious about what the next day would bring. But when it came to acknowledging that I was dealing with autistic burnout, I realized I realized what everyone has been telling me about my poetry for so long, and that's when I figured that that's when I discovered that my poetry is how I process my emotions. Now I talked about this before, but I feel like it bears repeating because I would not have known about all the good things that are going in my life if I didn't have those trials, those tribulations. And maybe it's the same way for you too. Never think that one setback is the end of the world. I'm guilty of it myself. I always pride myself on doing everything right the right way or the first time around, never realizing that those mistakes can lead to other good things too. So I guess the thing I'm trying to get at is let one thing that you do transform your life. Let let the one thing that you're planning to do, as far as prayer, as far as fasting or almsgiving, let that time be something that you can bring. That could be the start of even better victories. Um, it only takes one day, as I've mentioned in the Hopecast. It always takes one day. It only takes one decision to change what's going to happen in the course of your life. Never lose sight of that. Always know that your suffering is for the greater good. It may not seem that way right now, but believe me, trust me, it is all going to be going for a greater good. So I hope you guys, dear readers and viewers, I hope you like this video. If you like all these videos, check me out here on the Autistic Super Channel on YouTube. You can check me out on Twitter, X, all that good stuff, Facebook. I won't be seeing it, but just message me if you want, or leave a message in the comments, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. You can check out all my videos on the autisticsuperblog.wordpress.com. Stay safe, stay strong, God bless you all, and as always, shine on.